Well, the Tribeca Film Festival is on the way, and there's a lot going on this year.
Well, yesterday I had a chance to take in some of the events, and I ran into Arise Entertainment's movie critic, Mike Sargent. And Mike, woo, he gave me the insider's look at the Tribeca Film Festival. So Mike's here.
How are you both?
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to. I'm glad to see you both here at the same time.
Yes, thank you. At least you missed me, unlike some other people.
I missed you.
So, you know, we had a blast last night, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yes, well, you should see Lola.
Uh-oh.
That's why they have songs about her.
Now.
No.
Oh, I know why now.
I'm afraid to ask.
But I didn't. I mean, I know you're the man, Mike. But when I walked in with you, everyone was like, Mike. Like, you're the man.
You know, I know a lot of people. That's all.
You do know a lot of people.
Not as many as Shannon.
Oh, please.
But I know a lot of people.
Okay,
but
so
it was
we
great.
saw the documentary In God We Trust last night. Tell us all about it. Well, I know about it, but tell Shannon all about
Shannon,
it.
first of all, the documentary really follows Ellen Squilari, who was Bernie Madoff's secretary for 25 years. She had no idea what was going on.
She says.
Well, you know, when you talk to her, when you meet her, because we met her after the screening, she's one of the most genuine, real, down-to-earth people you could possibly ever meet. I mean, she looks amazing for her age and everything, too, but she, like everybody else, was completely duped. And here's one of the things, when you see this documentary, it really strikes you that the FCC did all kinds of checks on him and everything, and all kinds of people came in, but no one ever looked to see some basic things, like, had he ever done a trade? He had never done a trade. He had a trading company, had never done a trade. There's a place you can call, the DTS.
Right.
One phone call, no one had ever done it.
Wow.
Really?
It's amazing. But you know what's interesting about it? It says a lot about how easily you can be intimidated.
Exactly.
Like, you never go to your car mechanic and say, can I see your mechanic's license?
That's true.
You know what I mean? You just assume he's there, he's at the shop, he knows what he's doing. Same thing with Bernie Madoff. And it's a really, what makes the documentary so good is that you see not only how it affected her, but all the people and how things from her life, you know, it's a kind of thing where it's such a level of betrayal. You know, you're with somebody for 25 years, and then you find out that he's destroyed all these people's lives.
And the thing is, they vacationed together, they partied together. I mean,
they did.
They were a very close-knit.
They did together.
No, Shannon, no, not like that. Not like that.
So what was her role in the documentary then?
Well, her role in the documentary, she's really telling the story of how it happened, because she was there. She was there the day they came, the FBI went through everything, and she made it her mission after she lost her job and had put her families to invest with her boss, her mom, her dad, all these people. She made it her business to help the FBI. Like, they built their case largely because of the information she was able to give them. She did her own detective work, full time. This is what she did.
Wow.
One of the things that was riveting for me when I was watching is she actually traced down a lot of the victims.
Yes, she
and
did.
Spoke with them, and they were very candid.
Yes, well, you know, Victor Kubitschek, who is one of the directors of the film who produced Terminator, and let's face it, Bernie's the real Terminator, you know? Wow. He told a story how they were filming in a restaurant, they were filming her, and someone was like, oh, who's that? And when he said, oh, this is Bernie Madoff's secretary. The woman tried to attack her.
What?
Wow.
Literally.
Tried
to attack her, and then they were trying to stop the woman, and Eleanor said, no, what do you want to ask me? What do you want to know?
Wow.
So by the time she was done, this woman was like, how can I help?
Wow. Well, you know, I see that someone would be angry at that situation, but one of the amazing things that Lola said she liked about it is all the victims and how they were talking about how they were swindled also in this case. I mean, were they very candid about this discussion?
Well, they were very candid, and one of the things is when you hear about these investors, you think it's people with lots of money, who you know, well, they could afford Brad Pitt or whatever, but these are people who put their life savings. People like you and me, or, you know, people just blue collar, people who put their trust into someone for their lives. Like, what are they going to do now? There are literally a lot of people who they don't have the money now. Now they're screwed.
Now, how did the filmmakers go about convincing her to participate in the documentary?
Well, you know what's interesting? They convinced her, they said it was actually fairly easy because for her, and she said when we spoke to her for a little bit after the screening, she mentioned that it was somewhat cathartic for her.
Okay.
Because, you know, it became her purpose now to try and help these victims, to try and help the FBI, try and make sense of not only her life, but what she had been doing for 25 years.
Well, let me ask you, did she ever mention how did she feel that she was taken advantage of because of the whole situation? Because this was all happening right under her nose.
That's right.
So it's like he's deceiving her along with everyone else.
Well, she felt very guilty because he had a whole deal. When you see the documentary, he had like the downstairs, the legit, and then upstairs where all the
the stuff was going down.
Nefariousness was going on.
Attic.
So yeah, like that.
Okay, so it seems like it's juicy. It seems like it has some, interest to it.
Yeah,
but how will it really do at the box office? Will people go to see it?
Well, here's what I think. I think that people will go to see it because a lot of people. The main thing you really want to know is how did he get away with that?
That's what
how
I
did he do
know.
it for years and years?
Yeah.
One of the things that really strikes you is you see that the FCC, all kinds of organizations, they all went and checked him out, but they never did their due diligence. He said, and she even says that a lot of the people that came from these organizations to check him out, they were young. They were impressed. They were in awe of him. And here's the other thing. The reason
she said they were 20-something-year-olds, and they'd walk in like, wow, this is Bernie
job.
Madoff's office. So
I'll
instead of doing their due diligence, they just let him skate on by.
Yes, they did. I'll tell you something else about I didn't know, seeing the documentary of Bernie Madoff. In the 60s, Wall Street was all, paper and things, and it would take weeks for a trade to go through. He is one of the key people who computerized Wall Street.
So he can hide more things.
Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't even see the documentary.
I know.
No, when you see the documentary, you realize Bernie's not the only person in there.
Wow.
There's a person in there who I won't name, but he got more money than Bernie. He was the main person that the money was laundered through, but he's dead now. Killed himself.
Wow.
You know how to sell a documentary, don't you?
saying.
Look at you. I want to watch it again, and I just saw it last night.
Well, we actually have a clip. Can we take a look at the clip?
Sure.
And then we'll talk about some other Tribeca Film Festival movies. Okay, let's watch the clip first.
Stock fraud. I said 60 million. He said no, 60 with a B.
$50 billion. $50 billion gone. Vanished.
I remember him saying, if you're loyal, we'll take care of you.
I was Bernie Madoff's secretary.
How do you explain that on your resume? What do you do when you lose all your money? I mean, I really have a fear of being a bag lady.
Mr. Madoff, what would you say to all those people that lost money, Mr. Madoff? What would you say to them?
Bernie was always a hustler.
He was a control freak.
Bernie had an uncanny ability to make you feel, even if you were very bright, like a moron, and to treat you like a moron.
My life was financially ruined. I still didn't accept the fact that he was this person. I blame myself for being there for 25 years and not seeing anything.
I was going to do something about it. I was going to do everything I could to help the authorities.
Wow, it does look good. I love that quote. How do you put that on your resume, that part?
It was really, it's the best thing about going to the Tribeca Film Festival is that not only do you get to meet the filmmakers, you get to meet the people in it. They're right there. As we were going through the lobby, leaving one screen, we were running into this star, that star.
Yeah,
Lola,
Rosario
Dawson's right there. David Morse was there when I first got there, and I'm waiting to meet Lola. It's a really
and there I am with her, the star of the documentary.
There you are.
There I am.
And it's a fun environment, but these are people who love film, and it reminds you of the power of film, not just to entertain, to educate, to give you a glimpse into cultures you don't know.
Yeah, there you are.
I didn't even know that I was there.
Secretary.
Look at you. Okay, so really quickly, what are some of the other movies that we should be looking out for?
Well, there's a really interesting film called Haze.
Okay.
Okay, and it stars a woman who was in Death Proof. Did you see Quentin Tarantino's segment of? Well, her name is Zoe Bell, and she's a former stunt woman. That's a very interesting film.
Okay.
There are a lot of really interesting science fiction, horror.
We know you
genre.
love science fiction.
I have to mention, there's a great film called The Machine.
Okay.
It's sort of what you hope Ridley Scott's prequel to Blade Runner will be.
Okay. Ooh.
Like that.
And then there's also Whoopi Goldberg makes her
Whoopi
directorial
Goldberg
debut.
has a fantastic documentary on Moms Mabley.
I've been hearing great things about that.
And it's great. I don't know if you grew up listening to Moms Mabley. I did, because my parents were into it. And she's one of those, like, the fact that you don't know, that's why the documentary was made.
I love it. And then there's also a Muhammad Ali documentary, and there's also a Richard Pryor documentary.
Richard Pryor documentary. There's a Della documentary.
Goodness.
Yes, there
like
are so many documentaries, so many interesting films. There's shorts, there's animated films. It's pretty amazing thing to be happening in New York.
So what are we going to see this week? Because you're not going to shake me.
I want to go to one now.
Yeah.
You guys talk
if I tell you, then you might not tune in Friday.
Okay, well, how do normal people go to these things?
Normal people, you go online to the Tribeca Film Fest. You can still get tickets for different things. Look at the whole schedule, because everything plays several times.
Okay, cool.
So you really want to go and see.
And it's like the cost of a normal movie?
It's like the cost of a normal movie. But the benefit is, very often the filmmakers there, like when we were there last night, the filmmakers do Q&A after. And that's the best part about a festival. It's not just the films, but you get the filmmakers. You find out why they did things. I've seen films where you go, that wasn't that great, and then the director talks and you're like, huh. Maybe I'll watch it again.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so
were there any favorites that we should definitely make sure we check out? So I know you talked a lot of this. We can't see them all right now.
You can't see them all.
And then we've got to show our picture.
Okay.
What's our? Oh, yes.
Yes.
Any favorites? If we could only see one.
I'd probably say, See In God We Trust. Right now, I would.
Really?
I'd say because it's so informational, so interesting for you to understand what happens to your money. You know, what's the difference between a Ponzi scheme and Wall Street? Explain that to me.
Ooh, you didn't go there.
Wow.
Okay.
Gonna put a lot of people out of a job now.
Yeah.
Okay, well, before we go, we have to see how much fun you guys were having in a picture here. Do we have the picture?
The movie's coming out this fall.
This fall, okay. So we'll
Okay,
look
and
for it
God we
there.
trust.
Oh, look at you guys.
That is very cool.
Is that you for real? I'm like, wait a minute.
That is me.
That is funny.
You don't
Look at those
recognize that
arms.
bicep?
I know. My word.
So we had a chance to pose for our own fake movie trailer
that's
picture,
great.
and there we are. We had little pistols and a hat and everything.
That is so awesome.
That was exciting.
So I will see you guys next time on the Wild West Side.
On the Wild Wild West.
All right. The Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
I used to live downtown.
Uh-oh.
29th
Don't hurt him.
Okay,
Don't hurt him.
sorry. Thank you, Mike Sargent. Thank
You're
you,
more
thank
than
you, thank you.
welcome.
We'll see you later this week.
I hope so.
All right.
Perfect.
And if you
Yay.
have any films that we should go see from the Tribeca Film Festival, tweet us at Arise TV 360.